treat.
Like Singapore, if your fan base is only Tampines,
Yeah. You perform. Shout out to my Tampines homies, man. Yeah.
But the
CC,
Bedok,
yeah.
the Bedok people,
Gwen, you know what's up, man? Yeah, like
Japanese for life, man.
yeah. Yo,
Yeah.
Chia, bro. Chia.
All right, so today we have a very, very popular face with us, Mr. Benjamin Kheng,
Mr. Benjamin Kheng.
with his
Saute.
chocolate milk.
Yeah, man. This is the only way to start the morning.
And that's your second glass of chocolate milk.
Yeah, because exactly.
Okay.
I really do have this a lot, actually.
Like how often?
As much as people drink alcohol, really. This is my option. My best friend gives me a lot of shit for this because I'm always over at this place and I don't actually drink alcohol. I just drink chocolate milk.
No, but haven't you heard the thing that how milk is actually bad for you? I mean, okay, as humans, you're not supposed to be drinking milk past your
You're not
early
supposed
age.
to be doing a ton of things as well, but I mean,
That is true.
we still do it anyway.
That is
I've drunk too much milk in my life to worry about it right now.
Like, how much milk do you drink a day?
Like a glass a day.
Yeah, see, I drink like two.
Yeah, look at us. We're totally well-functioning
Yeah.
human beings. Look at
Fuck
us,
yeah,
normal
man.
people.
But
Yeah.
we're talking about cow's milk, right? Human milk, I think it's still okay.
Oh, only on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
No, what do you mean
Yeah.
human milk?
No, like a baby drinking a mother's
No,
milk.
but the
Apparently
thing
that's
is-
okay.
Yeah, but until a certain age.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah,
think
because you're not supposed to drink it past the breastfeeding age.
Oh shit.
Yeah. In fact, the
Terence, you better have a think about your life.
no, in fact, I think the people who are lactose intolerant are the people
Yeah.
are how humans are supposed to be.
We're all supposed to be messed up.
Yeah, we are all supposed to be lactose intolerant
Yeah.
beyond a certain age.
Oh, some article as well about how we're actually not supposed to eat like meat and stuff, essentially, but only just like wheat and partake of the plant.
And
You know
why
what I'm
is
saying?
that?
Because we're just dumb. Because I don't know, the internet is dumb. I don't know. I mean,
Was that on like what's that WebMD or something?
it's
Is
probably a thought catalog thing or something. I don't know.
it? Get the law.
Wait, but is the chocolate milk like is it a recovery thing from working out? Because I've heard that it's a great workout recovery drink, better than like.
Oh, that one video, right? That one video,
on
that
the
one
internet. I
fucking
saw it on the
video.
internet.
Goddamn internet.
Have you seen the video?
No.
It's fucking like, okay, one guy, he walks out and then he drinks, he drinks milk and then he does some push-ups and he's like, no, he drinks water and he does some push-ups and like, oh, I'm tired. Then he walks out again, he drinks chocolate milk and then he does like a bunch of pull-ups.
Using
and they're like,
science.
Chocolate milk is good for you. It's a fucking stupid video.
Nice.
I watched it. It did.
Oh, I
make
can't
me-
bench press. I'm gonna, chuck one down.
Yeah.
That was a different thing altogether. Sorry.
Yeah, it's one of those videos that you just show one example, another example, and boom, you have a conclusion.
Yeah, I'm not buying it.
But you still drink chocolate milk.
Yeah,
huh?
So it's just a taste kind of thing. That's why you're drinking it.
it's just a childhood thing. I'm
Oh, okay.
essentially still a child, I think. Yeah, but I'm also notoriously bad at alcohol. I think all my friends know that. Like
Can you-
I'm the resident driver.
But
After a
define
night of
notoriously bad. It means you're low tolerance.
Like
you don't like.
half a tequila shot and I'm done. Like for the night.
Oh really? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay. Not as bad. Like I'm allergic to beer. Actually, I can't do beer.
So what happens?
Wait, allergic?
Yeah,
Really?
and I haven't actually diagnosed it. I think it's the hops in beer.
Oh shit! What happens?
Something not very manly lah. But it's just the hops. I start swelling.
Oh.
Yeah, in,
You mean just a
in
sip
weird
of
and
beer?
wonderful places. No, not a sip. I think if I take a considerable amount, like maybe
Really?
3 or 4 gulps.
But what about other types of alcohol?
Other types of alcohol are fine. I'm just really shit at it. Like I'm not cool. I'm a very cheap drunk. If that's
No, don't worry. I'm
a
totally in the
consolation.
same boat as you. I might look
Please.
like no.
Use your genetics, dude. I
No,
mean,
it's true. Which is why I'm a disappointment to Indians everywhere. Like I don't really like beer.
I'll vouch for
I
that.
don't like whiskey.
Yeah.
I like cider. Yeah, and Terence can vouch for
I'll vouch
how
for him.
yeah. Oh, I like Moscato. like,
fucking Moscato is awesome.
yes, dude. Come on. We're gonna keep high fiving to pussy
Moscato-
things.
Moscato is
Or to
great.
pussy. I mean, yeah.
Yes.
Wait, so
Yeah.
you're saying that you never ever take a drink to like ease the nerves before a show? Or
Oh,
something?
like a nightcap when I'm really
Yeah.
like questioning my life, which is on the daily. Yeah. I mean, I'm actually quite a whiskey guy, but like just straight up, and then like a little bit will do, and then that's it for the night. Yeah.
So you do drink whiskey, yeah?
Yeah, but in a really pussy way lah. It's just like, oh, look at me, like a connoisseur.
No, but whiskey is manly.
Yeah, whiskey is
in itself,
manly.
Man.
You know
Like,
what?
Thank you.
straight up,
You know,
straight
you know
up.
what I drink in replacement of whiskey? Choya. I fucking love choya.
I'm gonna high five you again, but then like it feels like a overreach. But yes, I like Choya.
Choya
too.
is great, and I don't understand. Like, I mean, it kind of looks like whiskey. So in the
Yeah.
presence of other whiskey drinkers, I'll be
Yeah.
like, "Fuck you! I'm still drinking whiskey." Then I'll
Yeah,
sip my
exactly. But it's more gentle.
Choya. Exactly.
It's
and
like
it
one of those
tastes good.
smaller skateboards. What's that little
Penny board?
The penny board. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
half a badass, but still in my mind, like
I got a
part of the
penny board.
club. You got a penny board. You're just enforcing the stereotype now, aren't you?
Penny board on my and my tray
Yeah.
on my penny board.
You're an unmanly man. Yeah.
So like you do drink a little bit here and there, lah.
I mean, to show face when I
Oh,
have
to show face, ah?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm part of the, you know,
Have you ever been on a no drinking phase?
for most of my life. I mean,
But
that
like
was-
explicitly, I'm not gonna have a drink.
yeah, no, of course. I mean, like, I don't feel the compulsion to drink the same way other people do. Because I guess like I never really could as a kid. You know, where if you had a good liver, then obviously you'd be chucking down all the time. But I just don't have that luxury, lah.
But as like a singer, you know, band member, is it like
Dude, I sing pop music. I sing half an octave for a living. I don't have to extend my range. I mean, not all the time. So like, I'm okay. And also, I mean, like it doesn't harm you that bad. I think, yeah.
But isn't that like, well, it's like a perfect storm because you're like the pop singer, good looking,
Dear God.
you know, celebrity, everything, and you're also a nice guy, and you don't drink alcohol.
Yeah.
it's like
That's not very cool
almost
though.
too perfect, right?
no, what
man.
what's your dark secret, man? That your imperfection.
What is this? I have a host of issues. Most of them involve existential and nihilistic crisis. Yeah, and questions of what am I doing and what are we doing and what
As
is all
in
this
individually
what is all
and
this
collectively.
for? Yeah, in a broader sense, I get those things. Yeah, but you know, I'm keeping it at bay. I'm trying to be a well-adjusted adult. You know.
So you mean like keeping it at bay meaning that you're not trying to kind of doesn't it find its way through your art in some way?
Oh, absolutely, but not in commercial music. I mean, a little bit with these new songs that
Yeah.
we just put out. We do touch on, I guess, perfectionist society, dehumanization,
Yeah.
you know, robotization a little bit. But for the most part, like I try to not think about it because it's a very easy pit to fall into, and once you fall into it, you take like forever to get out.
That's true.
You know,
That's true.
And the anecdote to not falling into it is to just keep busy and just not think about it. I think, to me at least.
That's true. And like I mean the robot video kind of reminds me a bit of Westworld. Have you seen Westworld?
Yeah, I have. Messed
What-
me up real bad, man.
Yeah, dude.
It's time for a new narrative, Dolores.
It's fucking. You haven't watched it, right?
I've seen one episode.
Yeah. I mean, it's something that you really have to push through, lah, because you really have to pay attention.
Yeah, it's like a poor man's Inception. I'm not saying his brother is poorer than him. I mean, just no. It's a very good show.
So like the when you say you have these kind of things, you keep busy, but do you think you'll ever address them, or it's just something you just wanna?
Well, I had at a certain point. I mean, I fell into like a little bout of depression like a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. I think I made some sort of errors in the start of my career that I wanted to correct, but I couldn't really, you know. And then I just didn't like the kind of attention I was getting. You know, I didn't feel like I was doing important work. Like I'm not contributing to the GDP. I'm not adding value to people's lives in a tangible way. I just make noise, you know, for a living, and all those kind of thoughts. And then like I think not being fulfilled most of all, and just Facebook ruining everything because you can't get out of bed. You just find yourself like stuck on social media, and you're just sticking a hole, you know.
Yeah.
So these feelings came about sort of as a result and after the success that you had in the pop scene.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's pretty subjective with the whole success thing. I think it came with a lot of unwanted attention too. And then I just started to be more reclusive. And before I used to be pretty like, I used to have a pretty healthy outlook on my platform. I would talk about issues. I would be quite vocal. But then I think after that, like, I felt like I was a bit too preachy, maybe, you know, and there was a bit too much of that going on. And I think public sentiment went from, oh, they're so inspirational. I mean, not just me, but people in general, to like, let's be more post-ironic. Let's be a bit more weirder and more messed up, you know, as a form of aesthetic, you know, that was seen as cool in pop culture. So I think as that transient time sort of, the paradigm shifted away from that kind of, you know, language, so did I. And then I became a bit more like depressed and eventually just didn't leave my room for quite a bit. Yeah.
And then how do you come out of it?
I tried a bunch of things. I tried pills. To be honest, like those didn't do me. But it was basically to balance your serotonin levels. But I didn't take it when I was in a very good place. Yeah, but honestly, the thing that got me out was like working out again and just like exercise and committing to like events and dates and just growing the fuck up lah. Basically, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes like just being busy is the best
Just
antidote
being
for
busy.
everything.
Honestly.
Yeah.
And like I totally get what you mean about the downward spiral. It's almost like once you go down that path, you know you're going somewhere, so you stay away from it.
This is it. I cannot go back already because
Yeah,
like,
it's
it's just
fucking
like
terrible.
yeah, and you know what's happening. The thing is you are woke about it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you are aware of it, of the effects, yet you cannot stop it. And then sometimes I'll just give myself like a counter, like okay, I need to stop, like I need to get off social media in 10 seconds, and then like I can't, you know, or like you just want to sleep. You know what I mean? Like that
Wait,
kind of thing.
so what you're saying, is it because you're reading social media, the stuff on social media, or it's like
It's a combination of everything, I think. And I don't know. I think when people start to feel like they have a say over your narrative or your life, and then you allow that thought to manifest, that's when you kind of lose control of your own life, lah, in a sense. Yeah.
So
But-
it was like comments that people are making about you and
That,
all
that was a part of it. I think I felt like I no longer had a life of my own. But in a larger sense, sometimes you can't even articulate it in words. Like you have a good support system, you got friends, you got family, but none of that really matters at that point in time. It's just like, oh, what the hell am I doing? You know, and there's really no explanation for any of it. Yeah.
I think I get. I mean, it's, I remember one time when I was on social media and I felt fucking down was when we had another event of ours and I went down my friends list trying to invite them. And like I would see a friend I had not seen for years. I click on their profile and I look, and after that whole exercise, right, I was fucking sad.
Right.
Because I totally get what you mean, like about how even though like I mean you think you make noise. I mean everyone loves the music, but like when we do our videos, sometimes I'm in the middle of the street like just doing something fucking stupid, and I think like, what am I doing? You know, like,
What have I done to myself? What I put?
what the fuck am I doing? And then like I think that's where social media can be a bit dangerous because it's all about the comparison thing, you know.
Yeah.
And then you feel like, yeah, but I guess it's not the easiest thing to
Yeah.
tell yourself that everyone has different priorities, different stages of their life.
No, completely. It's
Yeah.
very enabling in a sense that it channels your insecurities into a wrong place.
Yeah.
So it becomes a reflection of who you are, but then you don't really act upon the issues that you need to fix, but you channel it and you vent it by being more offensive, you know?
Yeah.
In general, and I find myself doing that too, you know, and it's not cool. And to answer your question, yeah, like you know, oh no, it wasn't even a question. Sorry, but to add on to your point, like yeah, like just the act of comparison is so toxic, man. Like, and I feel this because I mean I came from I guess all my friends from secondary school at this point are all like getting engaged.
Yeah.
And getting proper. I mean, they're in a proper job. They're establishing, you know, the conventional family structure, and like you know they seem happy, you know, all that kind of stuff. Even though they're
And
probably
they
not.
post the ring on like, oh, she's
Yeah. Like forever. Don't fucking use that word, dude. It's depressing.
forever.
Yeah.
Check back in 5 years.
Yeah. Or like 30 minutes. Yeah. It's just.
Wait, so do you still use Facebook actively,
I
regularly?
try not to. I comment a lot less
Okay.
than I do, mostly because it's an old people platform now.
You
I'm
know,
trying
you're,
to stay young and trendy.
you know you're speaking to older people, right?
No, I feel like kinship. I feel like kinship. No, I'm still on Facebook because that's where all the bitchiness happens, and that's
Yeah.
where like the crazy videos are.
Yeah.
But kids these days are out of it, man. They're all on like they've got like 3 or 4 burner accounts on Instagram, and then they've got
What's a burner account? You mean just to
like a fake account,
just
like
to talk shit and all of that?
talk shit, to stalk, to spam.
Really? Yeah, that's a trend.
Yeah, it's been a trend for a while.
Shit.
People have a lot of celebrities have burner Twitter accounts where they either tweet themselves, "Oh my god, so and so is so great."
Shit, really? Yeah.
I'm not even shitting you, dude.
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Give us an
No, in
example.
Singapore-
Of someone.
No. I don't think Singaporeans have it because we're not that foresight. But there, recently there's an NBA player called Kevin Durant.
Oh yeah.
Basically,
yeah.
because he traded. I mean, he went to a better team basically, and he's one of the best players already. And then he had this burner account that was saying, "Man, don't talk shit about Kevin Durant, man. He's a good guy."
Oh, it was found
And then
out.
eventually it was found out that it was him.
Oh,
And then people were just like,
What?
and then people started creating burner accounts just for fun because it was funny.
Yeah, the big issue was that he jumped to the direct competitor.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
The guys
Yeah.
who beat him that year,
Right.
he jumped to them.
Exactly.
That was
It's
the
like
bad-
if all the three potatoes went to Night Owl or something. You know what I mean? Like, and I started wearing like bikinis.
No, but that's like one thing. You know, nowadays, like I just was having a conversation the other day with someone who has a very interesting perspective on like anything big that happens in the world. And he's, I think, a conspiracy theorist.
Okay.
But he started telling me stuff like about 9/11 and ISIS. And in the end, I was like, what? It kind of fucked up what I thought about it as well. In the sense, ISIS is a construct of this was fake. So like now online, right? Even if burner accounts and everything is fucking there, what the fuck is real, man?
Can't trust anything, man.
Yeah. So like how have you had any like bullshit articles about you come out?
I've had a lot of weird stories about me. Like apparently last year I was at a party, and the waiter didn't serve me my drink of preference, and I basically chucked a glass of water in his face.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Wait, this was what, on Facebook or Reddit or?
I don't know where it was from. My friend sent me a link. Can't remember where.
Wow.
It was great though. I wish I did it. I was very proud of myself.
That's a real,
The best thing I've ever done in my
diva
life.
moment.
I kind of wish I had the balls to do that.
No, actually, I think someone else also told
Like
me.
a glove slap, like this.
Someone told me that you shoved someone off the stairs in a theater performance, like as you were coming up from the stairs or something. So when I hear it,
Are you for real?
Yeah.
That's amazing, dude.
So I mean, because I think I've only met you in passing here, but everything I've heard is that you're a nice guy, you're a good guy.
And then
So
one
when
time I
heard
bumped you and you were like, oh my
Oh,
god,
shit.
he's the guy.
Drama.
He's a
when I heard that, I was
shower,
like, are you sure? They were like,
I
yeah,
shoved the
you're
guy
my friend.
off.
So I think she was going down the stairs and you were coming up, and I think you shoved her against the rail and you went up.
Some Harvey Weinstein shit, dude.
That's why. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't know, Ben. Do you shove people
Man.
under the stairs?
Who is this guy? I want to meet him, dude.
I think it was a girl.
Oh yeah,
As a
no, I mean
girl.
like
So you
who,
shoved the
who is
girl.
this guy? Like
Oh yeah.
who's
that's
this
why.
man? I want to meet this
Fucking
man.
just throwing glasses in waiters'
Yeah, and
place.
shoving girls off stairs.
Oh,
Sounds
and
like a GTA scene or something.
I think
yeah.
Faz put something on Instagram story yesterday where someone wrote an article that he died in a car crash in Malaysia or something.
Rest in peace, Faz.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
you try and Google it, see.
Fuck up
Faz dies in a car crash. And it was funny
And
because
there's a video. Like it's an animation. It's a
yeah,
gif.
it's fucking. Is there like you see his IG? But then the next IG was him eating
up,
chicken
Faz.
wings. I was
So
like,
good.
Yeah.
I'm alive and well.
Hey man.
Yeah. Actually,
That's-
let me.
That's
I
my
mean,
Faz.
you
That's
don't.
my
You're not.
Faz.
It's not like it's not a review of his show that you're talking about. Like
No.
crashed and burned or anything.
It was for real. Hopefully, it's still within the 24
So
hours
good.
and I can still see it.
I want people to be more creative, I guess, with this. With the
Actually,
crazy
it's a
stories.
very easy way to go in and change the title of a website. If you go into
For
the
real?
yeah, like
Let's do it now.
yeah, actually no, like
Let's change the name of the Sam Willows.
I did it before. Like, okay, do you have an article of the Sam Willows that we can go into and modify?
I don't know, but like,
Where is
Let's
Fuzz?
just see right now. What's on the news?
I hate.
Two new singles on Bandwagon.
Yeah, let's not mess with bandwagon. Oh man.
Wait, okay. What are you
Okay,
looking
yes. No, if you just go to any website, right? Like let's
Okay.
say an article about Sam Willows.
for? Okay.
Okay, let me try and work some
Let's mess with bureau.
Okay.
It's nothing complex. It's
Get out! You
literally
can actually do that.
if you go right click.
Oh, because you studied engineering, right?
I did
You-
mechanical
you did
engineering.
mechanical. So clearly you know how to code. Get out of this! What is?
Okay, so let's see. You just like that.
Yo, this is some Black Mirror shit.
Copy that. Boom. Okay. So then you just change this.
Oh, you mean on your own browser? It's just gonna look different on your own browser, right?
Yeah, on your own browser. But it's
Got
funny
it.
because then you can kind of just copy a screenshot and paste
Yeah.
it and like,
Okay.
oh, pardon me, yeah.
Are you actually gonna change this now?
Yeah, I think you can.
We should probably change it back though, because it's bureau.
No, but this is just on this browser.
Oh, on this
On
browser.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's he's not like
Yeah.
black hat.
You
or
won't
anything.
actually change the.
I'm-
Yeah.
I'm not-
He's not like.
I'm not that good a
Mr.
hacker.
Robot, whatever.
And where did you learn this?
I think I saw it somewhere online and then I tried it and I was like, oh fuck, that's so cool. Okay, so bureau.
Can you change my Wikipedia page?
But actually, going back to something you were saying earlier, right? While he's doing that,
Yeah.
do you think, that concept of like, even yourself as one of the more successful musicians in Singapore, right? But you still feel that same pressure when you see your friends as lawyers, doctors, and all these things. Do you think that's exclusive to Singapore thing, or it's just any creative person around the world?
I think we shouldn't even limit it to creative people. It's the whole. Have you read this short story called "Flowers for Algernon"?
No.
It's a concept about how human beings, as a species, we find it hard to regress, or we also. I mean, again, like comparison is the enemy of happiness. no matter what you do, there's always, something else that you crave naturally. It's just human instinct. And it's always exacerbated because of what we do. Like we have times where we just feel like we feel very alone and alienated because what we do is essentially, an alternate lifestyle, right? Yeah. Even though, yes, in some ways it can become a secure and stable platform, as we like the government to believe. Yes, we do have stable jobs, and it's true. I think from a more mental, emotional state, you do regress into these moments where you think about like whether or not I could have a proper career, doing something else, a 9 to 5, and not have to worry about the month kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But then you realize that what you do is very important as well. You're essentially you're birthing universes and different universes, different lives. And what you do, yes, is intangible, but it does make a big difference in people. You can even save a life. So I mean, I definitely wouldn't discount the stuff that we do. But I wouldn't also discount the emotional trauma that comes with our jobs.
Yeah, but the thing was that because when we were in LA, the awesome thing is that you talk to a waiter. He's actually an aspiring comedian.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You talk to a Uber driver. He's an inspiring musician.
With their fake noses and
everything. I mean, the whole LA experience, right? So,
yeah.
But the thing is that when we were there, I think we felt like, holy shit, it's a real fucking industry. We're not kidding around here. Everyone's trying to make it.
But LA has this sort of like quasi-depressive vibe to it. Like,
yeah,
you go down Hollywood Boulevard itself, and there's like the guy in the Spider-Man costume. Hey man, you want a picture, man? Yeah, it's gonna be $5. And it's just like. And Hollywood Boulevard itself is home to a lot of homeless people. Like we're not talking about Silver Lake or the richer estates, but like, the most famed part of LA, Hollywood Boulevard, is littered with homeless people. And then even in New York as well, it's just it's a bit disenchanting, I'd say.
I would say
to see that.
It's almost like So okay, by the way, my engineering skills totally fucked up. Nothing happened. So
nice.
Shout out to my professor.
I want my 5 minutes.
I'm gonna blame Apple Fuck this. I can do it in Windows. Okay. But yeah, I think what you're saying, it almost seems because when we went, we were there for a week for a project we were working on there, and I think we weren't there long enough to see the depths of it. And all we saw was like, oh my god, fuck. We were working with this guy who went from having a YouTube channel to directing movies in Hollywood, writing.
Who's this fella?
Michael Gallagher, one of the co-founders of Maker Studios.
Cool.
He had a channel called Totally Sketch, which in 2010, I think, had already 1.2 million subscribers, which was huge back then.
Massive, yeah.
Yeah, so now he's writing and directing movies for YouTube Red in Hollywood. Jeez. And we're like, fuck, that's almost like...
Michael Gallagher.
He went from like YouTube to the big bucks.
See, that's how you do it. You either go Michael Gallagher or you go Logan Paul, right?
Holy shit!
You want to pick the Michael Gallagher.
Michael Gallagher actually directed Logan Paul in
the thinning.
Nice.
So those worlds actually came together.
So good.
Yeah. So the nice thing about Hollywood, what we saw was the upside. But it almost seems like in Singapore, where to make it big as a how you say, a content creator or artist, that you can't. It almost feels like you can't go that high, but you almost also can't go that low.
Unless
in
you
the
keep
sense,
showing tits, lah. I mean.
Then you go fucking high.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas in Hollywood, you can go fucking high, but you can also go fucking low. So it just seems like the extremes are more...
Yeah, the polarity is bigger. Yeah.
So I can totally... I mean, we didn't even get a chance to go to Hollywood Boulevard, see the Walk of Stars and all. But I've heard stories, like normally when you want to see a star, there's like a homeless person a couple of feet away.
Yeah, or you just piss on the Donald Trump star. That's pretty much what you do.
Now it's just perpetually just pissed on. It's just a puddle of piss, right?
No, but that's why I wanted to ask, like, is there anywhere else in the world you would see yourself wanting to build a career if you could do it like all over again from the start?
No, Singapore, man.
Really?
Because I feel like indebted to Singapore in a sense. I'm a bit of a kantang, obviously. Not a typical Singaporean, but I do feel indebted to the place. I don't think if I was born in LA, I would have made it the same way.
That's fine. We got multiple cameras.
Some Black Mirror shit going on. Yeah, I definitely don't think we would have made it. Obviously, as in the ABCs there have it tough as well. They migrated to the digital platform. But I feel indebted to a country that's young, that is growing its culture. That its social construct is still sort of maturing. And we're making mistakes, but we're improving. Like even in the arts and culture scene, like we're trying to figure out what works, what sticks, and we're being increasingly globalized. Like the audience is which was once very had a lot of disparity, is now sort of coagulating because of YouTube and because of our languages and our vernacular becoming the same thing. But I do see like the trend bucking because, you know, when we started out like in 2012, 2013, YouTube covers were a big thing music wise. And that trend has kind of, you know, took a downward turn as well. Not a lot of people are still doing that. Not a lot of new people are doing that. And they're opting for more original music on Spotify. So the language changes a little bit. But I think on the whole, I do feel a lot for Singapore. And because I had the great opportunity to start with theatre as well, and you see the scene and how it's so powerful, and when you do art in the theatre, it's so poignant. But sometimes they're just playing to the same people over and over again. You know, like the same people will go back to the same shows, and you're not reaching new audiences. And as much as you want to do outreach theatre is still seen as a very archaic, old school thing, you know? And how do you revolutionize that? How do you bridge like mediums across generations, right? Something that's... Because theatre is so powerful, and you know, it's the fundamentals of performance, right? It's your own tools on stage, you know, it's the live element, it's visceral, it's you and me, and it's a moment in time. It's not captured it doesn't exist forever on YouTube. We're creating something right now, experiential, and if you blink, you miss it. You know, so that has a lot of power in it. And then there's the whole fourth wall magic, and I feel like I would want to eventually craft a career that is able to sort of meld both things together, you know?
You mean music and theatre?
Yeah, I mean everything. I think storytelling in a live performance aspect, as well as utilizing all these funky stuff, you know, to use that. And you guys are doing that too. You know, you do your live show, stuff like that. I think there's so much that we can do as local artists. And it's a scary thing because Singaporeans are so vocal, man. It's scary. And again, we're almost playing to a fishbowl if you think about it.
Yeah.
And what I've learned in my time as a commercial pop musician was that like I'm signed to Sony, and Sony is great. They do a lot of regional work for us. And as we travel to separate regions around Southeast Asia, the consumption of art, the consumption of music in general, or pop culture itself is so different, dude. It's so different. Like,
in what way?
For example, we went to Japan. Japan, in terms of music, obviously very insular. They like their own music. It's almost solely physical CDs. They don't really do much Spotify or digital streaming. You know, Tower Records is still a massive thing there. People buy CDs. In Philippines, Spotify is massive. In fact, our numbers on Spotify are the highest in the Philippines, and then second Singapore. And don't even get started on like Malaysia and Indonesia, where, you know, ringback tones are still a thing. You call it someone and that music that plays. That's how artists have earned their royalties from ages ago. Yeah. So every market has a different sort of approach. Even Indonesia itself, like if a country of 250 million or 350 million,
like
250 million people, right? Like we were once up for an MTV Europe Music Awards nomination beside I think Isyana and Agnes Mo, who are like legends in the Indonesian scene. Yeah. And if you look at the relativity between their followers and the population, we're about there, you know, in terms of where we are in Singapore. Yeah. But like we were up for nomination, and then some kids on Twitter like who follow us were like, "Oh my God, you guys are up for a nomination. We're gonna stay up all night. We're gonna vote. We're not gonna stop tweeting. You know, we're gonna like activate our friends." I was like, y'all just chill. Go to sleep. Go to school. Like we appreciate it because like all these guys what they do is tweet once. Their Twitter following is twice the size of Singapore. They've got like 11 million people on Twitter. They tweet once, we makan already. You know what I mean? That's it already. Game over. Get out lah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that kind of scale just like shocked me because I was like, man, we're just so in a bubble here. Yeah. And we're so like, you know, we're so consumed with the right lingo and the right approach and why people are not getting it. And we are fussing over different subcultures of, you know, of our very privileged English side of things, you know, and we ignore all the other segmentations of our market. Where in Indonesia, you've got like literally 4 very clear segmentations, A and B, C, D. So A and B are like the more urban markets, you know, the more metropolis areas. You got pop music, you've got your Isyanas and your GAC, and then you go to like the C and Ds, which are more rural. You know, like you've got other rock artists that don't really do commercial stuff, but they have a show in a back kind of format. They jump on the back of a truck and they tour the villages. Oh shit! Really? Throngs of people show up. Yeah, and you can argue that they do better than like the urban artists. And there's that's a scene that caters to almost every segmentation, you know, and it's a healthy scene.
And each segment is huge enough to sustain it.
Absolutely. You don't ever have the cross segmentations. Let alone get out of the country.
Like Singapore, your fan base is only Tampines.
Yeah. You know, yeah.
You perform.
Shout out my Tampines homies, man. Yeah.
But the
CC,
Bedok,
yeah.
the Bedok
Auntie
people.
Gwen, you know what's up, man? Yeah, like
Japanese for life, man.
Yeah. Yo, Chia, bro. Chia. Like,
the Bedok crowd, not your cup of tea. You're both Tampines.
even Bedok already like too far already. I mean, we don't mix with the Bedoks, man.
No Bedoks.
Yeah. Get out of there. Yeah, we were so. I think we were so myopic. You know, like, and then we fuss about that, and then we go like, oh, Singapore Idol is rubbish, and you know, like all this kind of stuff. Like we're just crabs in a bucket, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So
when did you first realize that? Because I mean, from early on when you started, you all started touring quite early, right?
Yeah, but we weren't really a pop act back then. We were more like indie folk. You know? Yeah, but also I had the privilege of starting with radio as well. So I did.
You were DJ, right?
I did a stint on Lush.
Oh yeah.
And this was pre-cool indie Lush. This was when Lush was fine living and 5 ways to cook a fish and the best dining spots. You know what? Yeah. And here's an 18-year-old going like, yeah. So you wanna? Like I had no clue what I was doing, obviously.
Yeah.
Right. But then I got to interview all these artists that come in the show that I really respect now.
From overseas or Singapore?
No, like a lot of Singaporeans, none of which remember me from those days. Just the clueless part-timer. But even then, you get a sense of things and you realize that there is a very rich scene that is so... it's a subculture, for sure. At the end of the day, it's a scene that that doesn't have enough following. Yeah, there are people, there are aficionados who understand the language. You know, they're very educated in that world, for sure. You know, they can critique it to the end of the days, but like there is no viable option for those circuits, you know, and that's why I feel like artists have to expand overseas. Like you get criminalized for it, sure, but like I mean, it's the definite business venture. Like look at any other industry in Singapore, they would have gone overseas by then already.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
and even as a startup, the only way you can survive is if you target outside Singapore and you grow your base.
Yeah. Not to say that we're not doing local work anymore. We're still indebted to Singapore culture, but like you cannot be ashamed of wanting to expand your business. Yeah, exactly. You cannot be ashamed of wanting to create an entrepreneurship. You cannot be afraid of making it a smart thing, lah. You know. Yeah. You want to put food on the table, but yet you want to be all artsy fartsy and stuff.
And then when you go global, become big, then everyone's like, oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, and that's a weird dichotomy. It's like, what the hell do you want?
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that there's a really great way to thread the line between both.
Okay.
You know, you create art that means something, that provokes, that asks the right questions. But also it's a viable commercial venture, lah. You know what I mean? It has to reach an audience. You cannot criminalize that act of mass media. You know, at the end of the day, what are you doing art for? You're doing it for yourself? You're doing it to shock sendiri, or you want to impact people? Yeah. There's nothing wrong with creating art for the masses. That's why we do pop music. Yeah. I don't create music for myself. I write 4 chords because that's how people relate to music most of the time. Yeah. Yeah, and that's why we do it.
So do you find when you create like let's say, okay, so for YouTube, for us, if we were to make videos that are very Singapore centric, there's a higher chance it might go viral in Singapore, but it's only going to spread in Singapore. Yeah. If we do something that's more global, then you want to target, but it might not go anywhere. But Singapore, you might capture a niche. Yeah. When you're creating music, right? Is that same consideration as well? Because you're not gonna put a lot of lars in your song, right, to make it more.
Well, I mean, okay, the artistry behind, I guess, creating a sonic mood board is a bit different because some languages, some vernaculars lend itself to better aesthetics. That's why everyone sings an American accent, for example, you know, or that's why the Western market is still the leading sound globally. Yeah. Right. Everyone pulls from it like crazy, which isn't a bad thing. I think when it comes to aesthetics,
technical reasons for, I mean, like the accent being more.
Oh, we can go into that forever. For example, the way different accents are constructed lend itself to different voices when you sing. The construct of evolution, for example, why African Americans sing way better. Why every Indonesian and Filipino singer sings the same. Like they do sing it quite identically, right? But they sing way better than a Chinese fella who goes. I mean, and it goes back to, again, placement of voice. You know, your area of resonance, the way your cranium is constructed to suit that, where you place your voice. And Chinese people, we talk like this, in front of the throat. Yeah. But Americans, they go really back of the throat. You know what I'm talking about? Even Indonesians, when they go, lapar banget, it's all, it's right there, right? So if your entire race has been conditioned to place that way, it's going to affect, I guess, the way you sing, the way you create music. There's a great book by think David Byrne, I think this is his name, called How Music Works. And it talks about the evolution of music from the days where there were no amplification. Why people had to sing long Gregorian chants, choral songs with no changes or no beats, because that's all they had. The reverberations of the walls and the natural amplification would have to carry the sound forward. So they couldn't make music that was beat driven, that changed chords and that modulated. And then slowly, when the jazz era came forward, when these things were invented, when music went more into dive bars and stuff, and it was more about the revolution, did music change? So in that sense, culture has always been a reflection in music, lah.
Yeah.
In that sense, yeah.
Wow.
I can't remember how we got
super
here.
interesting.
But it's a
man.
really interesting topic about how music naturally changed and why stadium rock is a thing, why you cannot play stadium rock in a small place, and how naturally we create art to fit the structure, lah. So to go back to your question again, for example, you can throw in Lars and you can throw in Singlish vernacular in rap, or I think it's easier that way. That's why Sugar does it so well.
Yeah.
A little bit harder with song. And this is an argument I've had with Dick Lee since the dawn of time, because he's very big on you must infuse local culture and you must sing about Fried Rice Paradise, and life story. and again, like I played the guy in the movie, so I know his viewpoint. But I think for me the aesthetic has moved a little bit, and it's not just about following a trend, lah. It's about trying to create things that resonate with people.
Yeah.
And if I, as a millennial, identify with a certain style of art, is it wrong that I try to subvert it? I mean, like I don't want to subvert it.
Yeah.
It's not. Like it means something to me to create music with Western chords.
Yeah.
Or sing in a Western style. I'm not saying I'm not Chinese. I'm saying I'm picking and choosing stuff, lah. You know what I mean? And so for me, that's what the situation is. Obviously, like it'd be great if you can infuse elements.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a necessity. So create the Singapore videos as well, but doesn't mean you can't do both.
Yeah. Right, maybe you can do alternate versions of songs like Take Heart lah. Like, oi, everything to me, something like that.
I think Joakim from 97 did one called Teka.
Teka. Yeah. Oh shit.
It was pretty brilliant, lah.
Is there a video on it?
He did it on YouTube. No, he did it on 97, I think.
Hey, Teka is fucking awesome, yeah.
Yeah, so good, dude. Yeah. I'm hungry.
No, but just now what you said about the whole did you say you're hungry?
Yeah.
Oh no, just feel free, dude.
Feel free, man.
I feel very influencery. Yeah. Just, gotta cuddle the
all
Pringles
these are our sponsors, Skyflakes.
Yeah,
Yes.
shout outs to
Shout out
Chinese
to
Tupperware.
Yeah, Chinese Tupperware.
Camel peanuts.
Camel peanuts.
Yeah.
Do you know you can smoke peanuts, dude?
What? Please
Like,
explain.
I've seen it
How?
done live in theater before.
What? Wait, say
Wait,
what?
For the purpose of looking like you're smoking.
No, to actually smoke.
Or to actually smoke.
As in,
actually
does it feel?
It
good?
has a certain effect. I'm not sure
What?
we can say
Wait.
on camera.
No, of course.
Look it up online, dude.
No, this
I
is-
literally
this
saw.
isn't
Okay,
a narcotic.
I was
This isn't
watching
a-
a play. I was watching a play in. It was a fringe theater piece,
Yeah.
which means it's kind of like esoteric. It's kind of obscure.
Yeah, I know what fringe means, dude. What the fuck? dude?
It's a TV show. It's a good one. But basically, like these two girls, they had a bowl of peanuts, and they literally lit one and smoked it with the shell on, like live, on stage, and you could smell it.
That was the whole show?
No, I mean
Oh,
that would have
okay.
been
Oh,
that
yeah,
would have been
so
very
what-
very
what
weird.
What does it say about smoking peanuts?
I don't know. Let me a minute.
So they
Apparently you can. People do it to
Or did they
achieve a
stuff
certain
like
effect.
tobacco inside?
I
and
have
then-
no idea, dude. I have no idea. Don't do it right now. That's for sure.
Yeah, but I'll definitely look into it.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, just now what you were saying about how even the skull shape affects how you sing and all that.
Right.
Fuck, man.
I mean,
I guess
I'm
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I'm no professional, but
Yeah.
for me, like, I love studying, phonetics and vernaculars of different cultures and how it affects not just like the way they sing, but the way of life. The speed of which they place words, all that kind of stuff really, really makes a difference. Like, I know Polish is very bitten, is very, they have the mouth shape is very different, it's very closed up. Whereas if you look at like I was saying just now, Indonesians and Filipinos, they place at a very different spot than Chinese fellas.
Yeah.
And it really affects the way you sing.
So when you say place, what do you mean? What do you mean by that?
So
For
in
us laymen?
singing, obviously, the pressure comes from your diaphragm, right?
Yeah.
But where your tone resonates affects your voice.
Uh-huh.
So why some singers can sound like they fill like a freaking auditorium, and
Yeah.
why some people can't seem to get past their own voice
Yeah.
is a reflection of how of your obviously technique, how you place, and a certain part I feel genetics as well. Do you know who Abby Shankara?
Yeah.
So Abby, good friend of mine, like
Yeah.
dude, just mind blowing voice.
Uh-huh.
Like, I cream myself every time he sings. Just ridiculous like runs, and the R&B voice is just in him.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to. He just makes a noise and it's and you're like that's like the immediate effect, right? But I feel like he's half Nigerian, and I'm not
really?
trying to obviously objectify race. I'm not. I'm just trying to analyze it.
Yeah.
I think naturally his cranium space is a little bigger. I feel. And so when you place your resonance there, you can feel it like, hey, if you hum a note like right, and the moment you close off your nose, you can totally tell that I'm placing the noise in my nose.
Yeah.
Because
really?
the sound kind of went off there, right?
Okay.
You see that?
Yeah.
Also because I've got a blocked nose today. But
So for AP, it just carries on, is it?
yeah, no. So a lot of where I was resonating was here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but if I place it back, it achieves a very different effect live. You know. But a lot of I
Can you
guess.
show us that?
Can you place it back?
Yeah, can you-
Oh shit.
I see.
See, yeah, y'all nasal
Mine
as
is
fuck.
just
Yeah.
fucking here. My voice is here.
Y'all nasal, man. Yeah.
What
Yeah,
the
just
fuck?
that.
Yeah. So it's very
shit.
Nick Carter from Backstreet Boys. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's all. He's very nasal, but I guess.
And it's something you think can be trained? To
Oh,
move
absolutely.
It back?
I mean, like, we have to go back to training all the time. A lot of opera singers or proper classical singers place very differently.
Yeah.
And also a lot to do with your larynx and how it's raised or lowered. I mean, again, I'm no professional and I'm just a pop
So
singer.
is that genetics, or can you like train your larynx to go up?
Like, you
and
can
down?
bring your voice from and that's more back of the. I'm trying to push it
Okay.
to the back of my throat.
Okay.
No, so the back of my
Your head.
cranium. Yeah.
So cranium is just the head, the skull.
I would say also you can resonate at the front right here as well. I think so.
Wow.
Again, like, please dispute me in the comments and feel free to tear me apart because I could just be talking out of my ass, which is also a resonating point because basically your diaphragm, right? Like,
Yeah.
as it expands, you can expand around your entire body
Yeah.
to like your back as well, and all this is your muscle to project voice. So, but that's just more scientific. Yeah, but for me, what intrigued me was learning why some cultures sing a different way. You know,
So you do spend a lot of time trying to study the science
well,
behind
I don't
music.
intensively do it, but it's fun to kind of like see why my Malaysian brethren can sing so much better than I can. It's not a form of jealousy. It's just like trying to understand like how to, I guess, like why if there's enough evidence
Yeah.
for a certain thing, obviously you're gonna analyze it.
Yeah. That's so
yeah.
cool. One question I did have is that, okay, I always think that as a singer, right, your throat is like your fucking, you have to protect it with your life. So whenever I see a singer, like even like when I see you shout, right, I'm like, oh my god, what is he doing to his throat? Does it actually, like, if you lose your voice, right? So okay, so part of me is like, is it just that like when you lose your voice, certain things are sore, your cells regenerate and recovers. Is it just that your default state is very singing friendly and mine isn't?
No, if you hear proper singers
Oh,
on
come
the daily,
on.
no, for real,
Yeah.
they don't shout very much.
They really do
Just
try
look
to
at
protect
Ariana
your
Grande.
voice.
She's always like, "Oh my god, is that so? Oh my god." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
she really is a state of protecting her voice.
Yeah.
And they're always trying to place above the point of vocal frying, which is the
Oh,
sound.
that's vocal frying. Fuck, that's such a cool phrase.
This is
I'm
vocal
frying my
frying. Yeah, this is
vocals.
vocal frying.
Oh, excuse me, I'm frying my vocals.
I smoke like 10 packs of cigarettes, and I'm so cool.
Uh-huh.
but I think proper singers, obviously, especially if you're touring like they tour, you gotta be on vocal rest. You basically bathe in honey lemon and drink it all, or you do weird stuff.
Yeah.
But again, like I I sing half an octave for a living, in a band, so like I'm okay. And also I kind of know my voice, and I know how long it takes to recover, but you can mess it up for good. Obviously, you've got nodules. Adele has gone for it, like operation and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it does affect if you use it wrongly.
So do you control your screaming? You do
but
like
after half a
MMA
shot
and all
tequila,
that.
like that's it lah.
At first you're like this, I talk like this. You take a one shot.
Yeah.
Fucking going crazy.
I'm just all mysterious, I'm not talk like that. Yeah.
How many exercises you have to do to like keep your diaphragm and everything together?
Not so much the diaphragm, I'd say, and it takes a while to warm up.
Yeah.
A good singer might take anywhere between 1 to 3 hours to get fully warmed up.
Okay.
Before an important gig, and it doesn't sound pretty. The warm up sound really terrible.
I didn't mean vocal exercises though. I meant like physical exercise, like kickboxing.
I don't think. No, man. Okay, actually, I found that the more I woke up before the performance, the worse I sound after that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I try to not be too excited before I get up and sing. Yeah.
So like one thing is okay. So I mean, taking aside your own perspective, right? Like there are a lot of people, myself included, who see you as a success story in Singapore. Like, oh, fucking good voice. Blah, blah. So why is it you so fucking humble?
I'm not, man. I'm the best. I'm the shit.
I can see the fakeness in that statement.
Right off, man. Yeah, peasants.
Yeah. Why are you so humble when it's so easy for you to be a douche? Actually, yeah.
Why is it easy to be a douche, dude?
Dude, it's so easy to be a douche when you just don't care about other people.
Yeah, actually, I don't really care about people. No,
because I mean,
because maybe I don't always see myself as a success story either. I'm quite, cognizant or woke to my flaws on the daily, and I go through a lot of, again, questioning of myself and all that kind of stuff. So I don't have the luxury of thinking that I'm a success story. But that's one thing. I do agree that I've had some margin of success. But very interesting topic, because I remember this being a big topic with me and Cesare. You know Cesare, right?
Yeah.
And there was one, I think we did this one show. It was like a double bill thing. It was like for this university. And there was a Q&A segment after that. And obviously it was quite a generic question. It was like, how do you keep up the success? How do you make sure that you're on your top form all the time?
Yeah.
And Irie has a very different point of view from me, because he is very good and he really practices like a madman. He's really a fucking great musician, right? But he said this thing about how like artists today have to be supremely confident, like overconfident to a certain degree, more confident of your abilities than anyone else in the world. Yeah. You have to, and especially rappers do this, they big themselves up, right? They always talk about, I got the shit, I got the money, I got the girls, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And if you don't have that kind of supreme confidence, it's really hard. That's what sustains an artist through a lot of the bullshit that they face, a lot of the heckling, a lot of the, like the questioning. That's what sustains them. Yeah. Which is totally a legit method. I'm sure it works for, Cardi B and all these other amazing artists, right? But what if you're not born with that confidence? What if you were born a little neurotic and, like a bit, self-conscious and all that kind of stuff? Then what kind of toll does being an artist have on you? And I think for me, at the end of the day, the way I sustained it was because, again, like I started in theater, and in theater is, as they say, the most collaborative of art forms. You've got so many moving parts. You've got your crew, you've got your wardrobe mistress, you've got makeup, everything has to click for that show to work, right? And so even though you're the lead guy, you're just one small cog in the entire machine. You're one small thread in the tapestry of a show, of the story. And if you do your part well and 3 other parts don't work, then the story is not going to work. And the tapestry is broken. And at the end of the day, they say art is king, the story is king. Yeah. You wanna tell that story, and the more you recognize yourself as part of that. I know this is very Mao Zedong. No, Mao Zedong is the wrong person to say. It's very Confucius. Yeah. That I am just like a small part of a greater thing at play. But you realize that the story is king lah, and that actually helps me get over a bit of anxiety and nerves before performance. Not like, yo, I'm the shit, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like that whole thing doesn't really work for me, but it's more of like, I have to tell this story. Like I gotta do my best to convey this message within this pop construct of 3 minutes 30. Like I gotta tell this story. And if my nerves get in the way, that's essentially me being selfish. I'm allowing my own prejudice, my own issues to rob this story of its effectiveness, right? We've got a good story on hand, a story that can really touch people and get to people. But if I'm going to come in going, oh my God, I don't know if I can deliver, I don't know what people think of me, that's actually selfish. If you think about it in a very warped paradigm, but it's true. Yeah. And you being all neurotic and scared about this is doing a disservice to what's important here. So shut up, like get your shit together and do your job. Tell the story. be a performer.
Yeah.
And so that logic and that mindset really gets me through lah.
I see.
So how does Story is King? How does that translate to music in a band? You know, especially when what you're talking about, you know, genetics. Certain people just the voices are better, right? So
I mean,
there are different
those are your
levels.
tools.
Yeah.
So obviously Bruno Mars does his thing, but like, who's a shitty singer?
Brittany?
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean, Britney's not the best singer,
Yeah.
right? But wouldn't you agree that she's a good storyteller? She's really good. Look at Toxic as a song. It's such a good song,
Yeah.
right?
Full package. Yeah.
And what I mean is that like she's surrounded it with good material and like she sells it very well.
Yeah.
And you
She
need
sells
to,
it
you
like,
need to
yeah.
commend that.
Yeah.
It needs to be commended. What Ed Sheeran and Taylor Swift do is really hard, dude.
Yeah.
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 And so performance is just one part of it. You know, you have to commend the effort lah, for sure.
So going back to what I asked about the humble versus the confident, because would you say that are there points, right, where you kind of think, fuck, you know, maybe I should just be like, fuck yeah, I'm the shit and all, or like do you think that sort of approach, right,
I feel really
actually,
weird. I mean, I
actually
feel
helps people get further?
it does.
Yeah.
It definitely does, for sure. It definitely does help to talk down to people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it definitely does help to boost your own morale if you shit on someone else, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, everyone does it today,
Yeah.
right? Everyone hates everyone.
Yeah.
God. But what good does it do you I mean, it doesn't really move the meter if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel the impetus to be an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
I guess just because, like, I don't feel good about it anyway.
Yeah.
I don't feel good about being arrogant either. Because,
Yeah.
like, I know I'm being fake.
No, that's something I respect, because there's this one saying my uncle told me like a few years ago that really stuck with me. He said, if you're hardworking and smart, you'll be successful. If you're hardworking, smart, and an asshole, you'll be twice as successful in half the time. Which I think makes a lot of sense. And I ask this question because now, like what you said, there's this culture of, you know, being savage and like, you know, just fucking just speaking your mind and not giving a shit about other people.
Yeah.
And it almost seems like people who adopt that approach, yeah, they get a fan base, you know, of people who maybe are thinking the same shit,
Yeah.
but don't want to say it. And then when you see these people kind of like get a lot of traction, I sometimes think like, fuck, maybe we should be more self-glorifying and all that.
I mean, the facts are true. You get twice the success at half the time, but at what cost of your own mindset? I mean, if you can live with yourself, then by all means be a dick lah.
Yeah.
And we know people who are like that. Obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
We do,
exactly.
right? But like,
yeah.
if you can't live with that, why would you want to put yourself in that situation?
Yeah.
Just be
and,
upset.
Yeah, and that's something I respect, because I think in this industry, it is about the long-term game, right? And you need to be doing something that you'll be able to sustain, like, because if you're a dick for 5 years, maybe, I mean, some people just are dicks, so I think they're okay with
It's not limited by time.
Hey, but if you
It's
build
not
your
limited,
career on
yeah.
sensationalism
Yeah.
and calling people out, or you know, being a general dick about it, then that's you lah. Then that's cool lah. I mean, I got nothing to say about that. I don't
Yeah.
agree, but like, if it pays the bills and puts food on the table, then whatever lah.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna do that. Like, that's just not me.
We will have it on record in 5 years' time.
Yeah, I mean, shock jock. Yeah,
You
yeah,
already
yeah,
throw
yeah.
water at waiters and shove people upstairs, okay?
That's right. We need to screenshot text messages from Haresh to me. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Shit. So much of that going on today.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've come under fire for actually like for being myself.
In what way? Yeah?
Which is like, I don't know, like people feel like I'm being fake about it. You know what I mean? And there's really nothing I can say at that point lah. It's just like, okay, like, I can't be an asshole for the sake of it, just for you to accept me. So just fuck off lah.
Fake in terms of what? Like, I mean, okay, I've heard this theory that the Sam Willows is a government initiative to...
Which is amazing, dude. You think about it.
awesome. Yeah.
Which is why we wrote our second song, Papa Money, which is almost like as far as we will ever write a diss track, because we're not a rapper, right? But like, yeah, we've heard so much rubbish about us. Like we were, you know, because we're palatable, you know, we're all privileged
exactly.
Chinese people, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
all look good.
We write easy pop songs, confirmed from the government lah. You know what I mean?
Like a bunch of people sat around the table, they're like, I think the next
Man,
thing
I
we
wish
have
the
to do-
government were that smart, dude.
Yeah, fucking...
It's like Illuminati level conspiracy, man.
Like you
Man.
wanted to be like a banker or something, and they plucked you out. You're like, you know,
Yeah.
you have potential as a singer.
And every day we go back for recalibration, right? Yeah.
Like the
Oh,
robot.
Dolores.
The robot is your plea to the masses to
Man.
get you out.
Oh yeah, save me.
Dude, yeah, I ran
Save me,
into
please. Yeah,
Oh man.
I wish that were true.
So
Yeah.
when did those rumors start?
So good. A couple of years ago, and we found it like the greatest thing ever. I mean, it's it's cool.
Yeah,
it's cool
it's
that
cool.
stuff like that gets.
It's like a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like
and
that-
people always, and then also another thing was, they're getting by because of their parents' money. They just inherited this massive fortune. We son-hoed our way there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh my god, like okay, yes, I would admit that we do come from middle class families. We're not. I mean, at one point, my family was near bankruptcy because of situations, but my dad worked his way back up. We live comfortably.
Yeah.
But we did make it a point from the start of our careers that we would not take our parents' money to fund our career. We'll find our own funding. We did crowdsourcing. We did the private gigs. We did all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We didn't get we got a grant at one point, but like for us, did we get a grant? I don't think we got a grant. No, we didn't get a grant. But for us, it was all about the hustle. And so as much as, yes, we are privileged and we are very lucky to get here because we look a certain way or we do a certain kind of music, we never took charity money. You know what I mean? And that's what Papa Money is about. Papa Money didn't buy me these things. And that's our little war cry.
So, sorry, when
Millennial war cry. Yeah.
when you say we, you're talking about the whole band or just yourself?
The whole band, yeah. The whole
Okay.
band. I don't think we took any of our parents' money for the purposes of the career.
So there was a real discussion you guys actually had early on as a band, or unconsciously?
It wasn't an unconscious thing. I don't think we ever did take that our parents' money. Not that it's a big deal, but if you decide to make a song about it, you better fact check lah.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure we didn't. Yeah. Yeah.
So was Papa Money like a nice slide to PAP money kind of thing?
I wish it was, dude. Yeah.
PAP.
A lot of kids come up and ask, "Is Papa Money an euphemism for sugar daddy?"
Oh shit.
Which I wish it was. Again, all these great ideas coming
No,
to me
that's
now.
where you say yes.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
I bet
hit me up.
Yeah. Did you take literature in school?
Yeah, a little bit.
So
Yeah.
I almost feel like literature, as much as we dissect all these books, right? Was the
Annotate,
writer
yeah.
really thinking about all that?
The curtains were fucking blue, guys. Yeah. It's not about the ennui of life or the exacerbation of modern society.
No,
it's just blue, guys.
Yeah, exactly. I remember doing reading To Kill a Mockingbird, which is one of my favorite books of all
So
time.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like they were dissecting all these roses and like how this is signifying, which I fucking memorized because I'm a crammer and I just study and just copy it into the exam. But like thinking about it, like fuck, did the writer really think about that shit?
Probably not.
Yeah,
He was
To a
probably
certain
high.
level, they probably
Yeah.
exactly. To a certain level, they probably thought
Smoking
about.
peanuts, probably.
I didn't say that it had that effect at all. I never claimed that. But
Yeah. So when people say you have this theory, you're like,
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah, just
But man,
don't answer, right?
don't
just
answer.
be
You're like,
quiet.
I'll leave it to your interpretation.
But that's what makes it really fun, I suppose. I really enjoyed lit in school and everything, just like annotating a poem just because I couldn't do math or science or anything else. But it was fun. I think the process of annotating is fun, and like as a fanboy for some bands, I just spent hours on their lyrics anyway.
Oh, really?
Like I read this article today from Vice that talked about how Dancing Queen, you are
Yeah.
the dancing queen, is literally the greatest disco hit ever written because it's so depressing. If you think about the chorus, right? How they interpreted it was, you're the dancing queen, young and sweet, only 17. You can dance, you can jive, having the time of your life. See that girl, watch that scene, digging the dancing queen. And while it could be seen as, you embodying the qualities of the 17-year-old dancing queen, it's actually a really sad song that says your time is up. It's over.
It's 17.
Someone else has moved on. Yeah. Your history, and someone else is now the dancing queen. And it's just you in a corner of a smoky bar or a club feeling depressed about how you had a youth that is now left you, and while all these beautiful, like techno strings are playing in the background and all that kind of stuff, it's really a depressing song. And ABBA has made a career out of depressing songs that have gleaned over the pop thing.
Oh, really?
You look at
Okay, I don't listen to lyrics first and foremost.
Yeah.
I listen to a song. I never dissect lyrics.
like if you think about it, like they have a song called SOS, which is about the incredible decimation of your body once you realize that you no longer can spend your life with a certain someone forever, and then stuff like that. Like it's like it's seemingly easy, but like with really depressive undertones. And Dancing Queen again was interpreted as one of those things. But I'm sure if you ask the writers, to be like, no, I just have pretty girl on the floor, like then you sing to that girl. Or the rest of the song really doesn't talk about it. It's like Friday night and the lights are low. It's about a great party night.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really hit you until that line, see that girl, watch
Yeah.
that scene, digging the dancing queen. Therein lies the depressing quality.
Yeah.
And if you want to overanalyze it, maybe you get to the point. And it's a beautiful thing. I would create a whole freaking short film about it, right? Like that's how beautiful that line is.
Yeah.
And even if that wasn't the intention, who cares lah? You know what I mean?
I think
If years from now someone goes, "Oh my God, Take Heart was a revolutionary song," like, you know, it helped people create an uprising. I'll be like in my death grave, yeah, take it and go. You know,
I was just going to say, I think these next few days of Chinese New Year, I'm just going to dissect your songs and try and think of all these fucking subversive things.
it's all about uprising. Yeah. Take Heart. They must be cannibals. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which is I don't think you can hate that machine. I think it's cool that people take their own meaning and spin their own narratives. Why not? Yeah. Why do you have a mushroom cloud exploding from your? Do you guys really like mushrooms? Is that a thing? Yeah.
It's actually broccoli, which is good for your health.
Yeah.
Nice.
Or sometimes it's a brain.
It's essentially. Or it's a fancy Chinese cloud.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why is it a Chinese cloud?
Or a tree that got a discus thrown through it and is now being chopped off.
And it's like in the middle of it.
Being decapitated.
Yeah.
But it's still standing up. What does that say about you guys?
Fuck yeah.
Shit.
Come at us, bitches. We'll still stand up. Dude, that's the best explanation I've heard so far.
Let's annotate your logo for a second. What the hell does it mean? Yeah.
So, it's also, it could be like a monster, like, you know, one of those like Elmo kind of monsters, and those are the arms. Is it a guerrilla marketing plan for Gardens by the Bay? Maybe, I don't know. Gardens by one of my teammates, Idris, he told me the funniest thing: Gardens by the Nabe. Isn't that just a funny phrase?
That is quite quality.
Yeah, so
that is quality.
Throw it in there, Gardens by the
Nabe. So good.
Yeah. So how long have we been chatting for?
Just over an hour.
Good time.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you've never really said?
No, actually, the thing is, I want to ask about the dynamics of like being in working with your sister and everything.
Oh yeah.
Don't do it. It's the worst. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, I can totally imagine. Like just now, you're saying about we decided that we didn't want to take our parents' money and things like that.
Yeah. How
does that play out? Like growing up with someone and subsequently your career is alongside someone.
It's tough, man. It's tough. I think, I don't think we actually get competitive in terms of our work because again, it's kind of a different market for both of us. But, the quarrels used to be pretty bad, man.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Really bad between the band. But we've been together for 6 years now, and strangely enough, we got to a point where, we all did our side stuff, right? We all did our side ventures and everything, and we came back with this album, and for some reason, the vibe was just on point. Like, everything just made sense. We clicked. I haven't quarreled with my sister for over a year. Wow. Like, literally. Wow. Like, like a verbal quarrel. We haven't done that for over a year. Mm-hmm. Not with the band, at least. None of them. And we used to do it pretty often, and I think you just hit your stride. Or you get to a place where you just don't care anymore.
So that means the past few years you guys did take because I know you were doing a lot of theater, right?
I did a bit of projects on the side, yeah.
Yeah, Sandra did the stuff. Narelle, I thought I was going to be the first Singaporean to appear in a Bollywood movie. What the fuck?
Yeah, she beat you to it, dude.
What the fuck, man? Yeah.
Now you're gonna do a Chinese New Year thing.
Yeah.
You do a
Who told me about it? Like Narelle's in a Bollywood movie. I was like, what?
So great.
No, what the fuck?
She's so overdubbed though in that movie.
I saw.
It's so amazing.
You see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
It's so overdubbed.
She gets random people from India commenting on her Instagram. I love it, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, so you guys did side things, and what you're saying is that that time away kind of made you guys
kind of made us realize like how much of a dick we were at certain points. But I think at the end of the day, there's a line again in Papa Money, not to plug the song that comes out, the music video in March. Check it out on our socials and streaming platforms. But there's a line in Papa Money that goes, it basically talks about Sandra's job before this. It was, got my first job at 16, serve coffee 17, waiter, 1 black no sugar please. What are weekends anymore? Social circles down to 4. Later, swear I'm gonna call. And literally at some points, like we were all we had lah, just the 4 of us. As you would know, once you start your own thing, your social circle just shrinks.
Yeah.
And we realized that why are we being dicks to each other if we are all that we have, essentially, warts and all. Mm-hmm. And we started really growing up and caring for each other. I think more than just colleagues. We started hanging out. We went on a holiday together. We chill. We actually like spend downtime together. Which is really nice. Previously, it was just work, man. Like once we finish work, we just buzz off and do our own thing, it started off obviously very close, like a very close unit, right? And then as, different management entities came and went, it kind of fractured everything. We felt like the Willows became a platform or a business, again, you start to disassociate yourself from it. You start to care less, which is why, although I loved the previous album, I felt like a lot of it, and although we wrote all the songs, it felt like we were posturing. We were trying to put out music that we thought only people would like, and we didn't actually really like ourselves, But now it's nice. Now we're at a place where we really do care for each other, and once this thing ends, I can safely say we'll all go out for a barbecue and not try to stab each other's eyes out or kill each other. Yeah.
So you mean as a older brother growing up, you never had those sort of like, I'm taking care of a younger sister kind of
I'm a terrible older brother, man. I don't give a crap about her. No, I mean, like, I do, but like, she's so independent and honestly really different from me as a person. If you ever get her on the show, you understand. Yeah, it's kind of like night and day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I think that's why we sort of offset each other so well within the band. The energies are very different. From a creative standpoint, like you always need a creator and your curator, right? You need someone to churn out ideas like a machine, and you need someone to go like, this is bullshit, this works with this, let's put that together. And so Narelle is a very good curator. She knows what works within, an aesthetic sense, and I just throw out ideas, good and bad. Yeah, so that dynamic works really well. It's nice to have her in the band. I'd say like if I didn't have her in the band, we wouldn't be as close as we are now.
But I wouldn't say tensions, but the few years ago when you said that even as a group you guys were treating it just as work, did that affect your relationship with Narelle?
Yeah, I suppose it did. I think I wasn't in a good place too. That was during my really bad episode, and she was in a terrible place as well mentally. We were both in really shit places. So essentially, we're two kids who couldn't swim, just trying to drag each other down. And in a larger sense, the band was like that as well. I think everyone was kind of lost and figuring themselves out. But you get to a point where you're out of the woods, you're happy, and we're really happy now.
But talk about couldn't swim, but you guys were like both swimmers as well, right? Like
we were. It was a dark time in our past.
Wow.
It wasn't that bad. Like, it was very fun.
That's why I saw like, wow, you guys got a lot more parallels than any other pair of siblings, because he's got a brother, I've got
She just copied me really. Honestly, she did. Like, she copied all my musical tastes as a kid. Like, I was into Metallica.
What's the age
she
difference?
got into that. 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah, 3 years difference. Yeah.
But I mean, it's you guys have probably the closest working relationship between siblings that I've seen in a lot of.
Besides Trump and the Trump situation.
Yeah.
Actually, working.
That's nice.
Like, isn't that nice? The Lee family also.
Hey, don't go there. Whoa.
I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying the whole family works together.
Which one is the sister again?
What do you mean?
Oh man, that's so messed up.
But creatively, that's got to be tough, right? Like, was there before you guys started a band and everything? Were there people telling you, "Oh, don't do this with your sister"?
Nah, not really. I mean, like, music was always part of our household, so it just made sense.
Okay.
But you don't realize how tough it would actually be until you get into it.
Yeah.
But then again, like, it's just part of life. I bet everyone in that situation would go through that as well. Yeah. And I'm glad that we are at this point where we are now. Not everyone gets there too. Yeah. I think if it wasn't for the success of the band, and the kind of clout that we have now, we would have broken up some time ago. Yeah. But sometimes you're fueled by a necessity, or a demand sometimes, and I think the moment we started, we always felt like we had to live up to expectations from the start, we had to always reach a certain, level of artistry or something. And that sort of push has really driven us to go even further. So I think I would say that's a good benchmark.
But do you feel you've reached that level yet? Or it's a shifting level?
The level is happiness at the end of the day.
I see.
It used to be a thing. It used to be like, we want to win a Grammy, which is ridiculous. Or we wanted to, get regional famous. I think as long as you're happy at the end of the day, that's the only barometer for me right now. Yeah. That's
awesome, because I don't think many people are as philosophical as that.
Yeah, because I have friends who just mad hustle, like really mad hustle. Take Eden for example. Before all this, we're going to Eden now.
You can't say the E word.
But honestly, before all this broke out, Eden was like flat out one of the hardest workers I've seen.
Yeah, he's a hustler.
I never met him casually, dude. It was always for some work thing. You think about it. He was non-stop working.
No, he had that story where he wanted to film like a collab, right? Where he was doing like different people, and he called you, and then he just went to your house
At
at night
11:30.
At 11:30, just filmed the scene
Yeah.
with him and
The,
just
the,
left.
the bottle thing, right?
Yeah,
That's
the
what he was
bottle
doing
thing,
with
correct.
everyone.
Like,
And I thought that was
wow.
really, I mean,
It's
like,
hustle,
dude, like,
man.
props to you to
hustle.
Some people take it the wrong way. Some people are like, yo, like, all you want is, like, you're always on a work mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do respect that hustle. I think he
Yeah.
had a goal and he went for it. But if you're chasing a ghost, at the end of the day, you're never going to be happy, lah.
Yeah.
No matter where you are.
And is that a sentiment shared by the whole group?
Increasingly, yeah. I think
Okay.
the more we travel around the region and the more we see different walks of life and different levels of obviously social and financial comfort,
Yeah.
that has no correlation to
Happiness.
people's happiness. In fact, it has
Yeah.
the exact opposite effect. I went on this medical aid mission to East Timor a couple of years back. Went to the villages in VKK, which is on top of a hill. You took a 6-hour like drive up to like this hill, bumpy ride, and you just see villagers and tribes and kids who literally have never seen a camera before. They've never really seen themselves being captured. They go ape shit when you take a photo and you show it to them from the viewfinder. They've never seen themselves. And they walk around with parangs because they're always chopping fruits from the trees, you know. The happiest people I've ever met, dude.
Yeah.
Like beyond any level of happiness that I could ever measure in my, first world life.
Yeah.
And like we would camp out at night. We went to help them, like we help the school, and then at night we just sit out there, and it's really close to, I mean, it's on the mountaintop, so you see like the freaking Milky Way stretching beyond you.
Oh, you saw that kind of sky.
Oh my God, this is peace, man. Like,
Yeah.
like if these guys can find a way to be happy, like why am I complaining? I
Yeah.
want anything, That really struck me. Like at the end of the day, like, so what if I don't ever get 1 million followers?
But it's funny because you guys already, I mean, for us, we already see you guys as like big hustlers, You're like,
And so are you guys. I mean, like, and we hustle because I think we enjoy the work.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very important, I think for all creatives or anyone in any profession, I think the important thing to think about is knowing why you hustle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, yes, very important to set goals, but like one of my favorite quotes is from this NBA player called Joel Embiid. And he talks about how you need to trust the process. Like to get great, you need to put in 10,000 hours to do something.
Yeah.
If you don't put in 10,000 hours, you don't put in the work. There's no point, lah.
Yeah.
And there was this article by I think it was Huffington Post as well, about this lady, right? This columnist who really wanted to write a novel. It was a lifelong dream to write this novel, to write a full-length novel. But she was stuck at a freaking day-end job doing columns week after week, and she always wanted to set time aside to write this freaking novel. But she's like, there's no way I'm ever going to write 100,000 words, or like 300 pages on a book.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to shove that idea aside. It's a lofty idea, and I'm just going to carry on my day job. And after a year, she sat back and she put all her columns together. And at the time, she had written 2 books. And all she did was write 20 minutes a day.
Yeah.
And so again, like if you break it down to bite size, it's really freaking easy.
Yeah.
The process is very enjoyable and it's easy. But people always keep clamoring for, like the mountaintop.
They just want the book immediately,
Yeah.
right? They just want the book.
What happens when you get to freaking, I don't know, Kim Kardashian level? Are you happy? I don't know.
yeah.
You're full of plastic. Are you happy? It's just, you're not.
I think
I
it's
don't
similar
think
to
so.
like Scott Adams, the cartoonist behind Dilbert.
Yeah,
He says don't
yeah.
set goals, set a system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, rather than say I want to lose weight or something, just say I'm going to run like 10 minutes a day,
Yeah.
and just put your shoes by your bedside so that you just go at it. every
Absolutely.
day.
The process is so important. People
Yeah.
keep forgetting how beautiful the process can be.
And how necessary the process
How
is.
necessary.
Yeah.
Not to
'Cause
just achieve your goals.
there's this book that I read that just detailed the daily rituals of like the most creative people in
It's
in
crazy,
history.
right?
Yeah, and like Stephen King during his time, I don't know whether he still does it, he wrote 3,000 words a day. And he might chuck away 2,950 of it, but he made it a point to write 3,000 words a day.
Exactly.
Which is fucking amazing.
It was another conversation. I can't remember who it was again, but it was like, someone was asking, was it Neil Gaiman or something like that about like their writing process, and he's saying like I'm a writer too, but I only write when I'm inspired. I'm only like I can only write well when I'm inspired. And then the guy was like, same. I only write when I'm inspired, except the difference is I am continually inspired at 8 a.m. every single day because I get up and I force
do the
myself
work.
to write.
Yeah.
I consume culture and then I convert it into writing. And I
Yeah.
do that
Yeah.
as a religion at 8 a.m. every single day.
Yeah.
It might be crap, but on the 30th day, it's going to be gold. But you
Yeah.
cannot get to that goal day if you don't spend 29 days writing crap.
Yeah.
Same with songs. You have to be continuously writing songs as a musician. Like you cannot get to the 100th hit if you don't write 99 crap songs.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the truth.
I think that's one of the biggest realizations for me entering the creative industry, because I used to be in the corporate world before this.
Right.
And then I think part of it is you really just need to, you can't wait for inspiration. Because the whole ride when you're inspired is fucking bullshit. You just need to keep creating, keep creating.
My phone is filled with shit songs, honestly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like demos that will never see the light of day. Although they're really precious to me, and to burn them is so difficult. And another story while we're at it, we managed to write a lot of the songs in Sweden, and the Swedish are these pop machines, they continuously churn out
When you say
solid
Sweden,
hits.
that means the producers there, or like the music
We
community
worked with
there?
a couple of producers who were Swedish.
Yeah.
And these guys write for like Girls' Generation, like a whole bunch of K-pop acts, Kygo, every like Chainsmokers.
Yeah.
So they do this for a daily. They have a school how to write pop hits.
What?
There's a science to it, dude. And it's really, you think, it's so easy. No, man. It's like they question every word, every rhyme. Why would you repeat this? Why would you not repeat this? And I remember we were writing, we would write a song a day. So, we would come up with the structure itself as well as the lyrics.
Yeah.
And we spent one day, with this song, and it was such a painful process, because everyone at that point had checked out already. They're either on their phones, or they're like, oh my God, my brain is fried, right?
Yeah.
And like, I was just with the producer, we're just trying to crack this bloody song, and it wasn't working. It kind of worked. It was a beautiful ballad. And at the end of the day, we were like, it's a great song. It's a great song. We had it down on demo. We went home. And then the next day we sat down with the producer, and he was like, okay, so we do this thing in our songwriting practice where we write a song a day, and the next day we completely trash the song. We're never going to use it again. And we're like, what the fuck? We just spent like 20 hours writing this song, dude. He's like, yeah, trust me, the song that comes out after we trash the song is going to be the song you pick. It's going to be the golden song. And we're like, there's no way.
So that was day one.
This is in between already. This is one of the days, I think. And he was like, trust me, let's just trash the song. Let's just start again. And we're like, you gotta be shitting me. But we did. We trashed that song. It was completely gone. It was a great song. We destroyed it, and we started again. And the song of that new day turned out to be Save Myself, which is the second song of this album.
Yeah.
And the song did pretty well.
Yeah.
And it was a song that honestly was a whole step ahead of the other song.
And you felt it as well.
We all felt it. We were like, this is a good song. And we wouldn't have got to that song if we didn't kill the first baby. Sorry, it's a terrible analogy. But but you had to really put your mind off something first in order to recreate, because then you know exactly what you want from the new thing, especially when you're working with creative parameters within a canvas. Because then you really know where you are, and you're more streamlined. You're more of a laser than a torchlight.
So that guy's like a sage in terms of creating.
Yeah, but they're all like that, dude. They're all like super quick with their production and the knowledge, and they know when to trash things, which I think is another good life advice. You need to know when to trash things.
So do you
when
think
something or someone is trash?
Do you think that almost ruins the beauty of creating art? Like it almost breaks it down to a science and a machine kind of thing, right? Do you think that
In a commercial realm, there is artistry within creating for commerce. For pop, for radio. It's yes, it is a science, but then again, why do people paint on a 4x3? It's again, you're working within the construct, within the visual, and it's a nice thing too. But you also need your outlet to just go, blah, here's my creative output, and just be really obnoxiously artistic. Yeah.
So are those the shorter form videos you put on Instagram of you just jamming?
Well, I mean,
is that like an outlet for
creative
you?
diarrhea?
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like that's just me messing around. I don't really think too much about it. Yeah.
So those always blow my mind. That's like really on the fly, or you just
no, some of it is
jamming?
live, but most of it is I track it live, and then after that I sung it up lah, obviously.
Fucks,
with other stuff.
That's so cool. So I mean, you just sit
what you guys do is freaking cool as well. I mean, like.
We don't jam out a video. Yo.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
it's just me, maybe on the street, and Terence just recording or something. Yeah, whereas you're like,
there's some physical action.
It's all the same, man.
Wait, actually, something we've covered a lot of stuff about motivation today. Are you like the key cheerleader in your group, the main motivator, the hype man? Like, okay, guys, we gotta do this. Are you that guy in the group? No, but I'm hearing so much that I feel like. Whole shit that you soak up all this inspirational
giving
stuff.
the ideas, and everyone is like, you're like pumping in the fuel,
motivating people.
I wish I was, man. I mean, I think we're at a place where we're all kind of at the same level.
Oh, really?
Except that so I would say that John, to be honest, is the big maximizer. you do like a Myers-Briggs test. There's always people who are maximizers in your life. People who like take this and go like, oh my god, I can see a freaking business out of this thing. John is that kind of guy. He sees a concept and he blows it up.
Yeah.
Like with his business or even with the Willows. He was the one who actually egged us on. We were just jamming in our rooms before.
Oh, really?
That. And he was like, yo, we should actually be a legit band. I was like, nah, man. But he's like, yeah, let's do it. And so we did. Yeah. So thank you, John. But yeah, I mean, John, again, so John, like, had a different trajectory from us. He was mostly a guitarist, a blues musician. He didn't start out singing like the rest of us, but he practiced. And for him, it was always about seizing opportunity.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like, I'm not a maximizer. I always doubt. I go like, is this actually good for me? Should I probably not eat it? But he goes like, God damn, I can make
Just fucking eat it.
Yeah.
Sell it.
I can make an empire out of Chinese New Year cookies. And that's John. And I've always gravitated towards people like that because I myself am not like that. So I'm like, oh my God, it's so amazing. So that's just me. And I think knowing how to surround yourself with the right people is very important.
So how would Narelle and Sandra see this box of cookies? So like John's like, yeah, let's fucking build a business.
Narelle would take a nice Instagram shot of it. And Sandra would be, oh my God, and then do a yoga pose and eat it. I don't know. I'm not trying to objectify them as
eat it with her feet. Like she'll open it with her feet and like they'll do it on a handstand or something.
In a crane position. Yeah. But it's I think it's so great that you have different dynamics within a group.
Yeah.
They were all really, really weird as hell.
Yeah.
But it kind of like works for us. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that yin and yang is important. For you guys, it's the yin and yang, yang and yang.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For I guess
like you guys as well, right? Yeah.
Yeah, there is a yin and yang.
Yeah, because we were friends before we started work.
We met at university. Now we're just acquaintances.
Colleagues.
And cut.
You want to get lunch later? No, don't.
Yeah.
But we do see, like, even as friends, we always hear people say don't work with your friends and things like that. But then now I'm thinking like in this industry, how small it is and all that. How possible is it that you don't work with people and end up as friends with them?
Dude, look at Adrian Pang and Tracy Pang, who run Pandemonium, the company.
Yeah.
Married for ages, and like they make it work, dude.
Yeah, man.
Freaking great team and a couple out of all things. You can't dispute the fact that it's possible.
Yeah.
Just because you can't settle your own like domestic shit, it doesn't mean that it's not possible to be done. They can do it.
I think they're just certain friends you shouldn't start a business with. It
Oh
depends on the
for sure.
friendship, certain friends. Certain friends.
I'm not gonna cough and name a name, but I should. Oh man.
But I was just like, wow, like today I think I need to watch through this whole thing and like get a dictionary and look through some of the words that you said. But like you soak up so much of this like motivational stuff from Neil Gaiman and all that. I'm like, it's got to come out in some other way beyond just like,
Nah, man, it's stuff that I honestly have to tell myself every day because like it's one thing to talk about it.
Yeah.
And that's why like counselors are the most depressed people around as well.
But so you do like mood boards and stuff like that to
I'm not
motivate
that
yourself?
creative lah. I'm just an influencer. What are you talking about?
then what's your thing to get yourself motivated like every single morning?
I think for me, and as an artist, like you have to consume too. You have to be in a constant state of listening to new music, trying out random stuff. For me, just jamming lah. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm just a pop act, but like if you don't spend time listening to everything and trying it out, then you're wasting time lah. Yeah. For me, you have to fail. You have to be okay failing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, putting out a shit video, putting out a
so even
song.
at the point you're at now, you would say you're cool with failing, because like there's always this thing where the more famous you get, the more you've achieved. It almost makes the downside of a risky thing higher, right?
Yeah.
So how do you deal with?
But it's all relative at the end of the day. Like I'm scarcely famous compared to like a global level, and for me like to already be so retrospective in my career and to be, oh my God, look at what I've done. Like, you can do it once in a while, but it's also very unhealthy.
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm still at a point where I can fully fail.
Yeah.
And bounce back up and take that as a learning lesson.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you should be scared of failing at all, man.
Yeah.
Also because the inertia to put out work sometimes is so freaking heavy.
Yeah.
Like I want to do this video, I want to do this thing, but like, oh my gosh, what if it fails? What if it's not good? And that's why you really have to respect people who churn out content like you guys, because you just do it. I think it's hard sometimes. You end up talking yourself into like a hole.
Yeah, it's
which
very
a lot
easy.
of people do.
Yeah.
But if you don't like make a mess of it, you never know lah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Cool.
Cool, man.
Cool.
I think
Yeah.
we're good.
This one also because I mean there's so many other questions I want to ask you, but just we also kind of experimenting with the length of the podcast.
Yeah.
Because like Fuzz's one, our first one was 2 hours 45 minutes.
Fucking hell.
But we went to really dark places. Like
Yeah, it was
fun
awesome. Like
Train,
even now there's so many. Yeah, so I mean in future if you're up for coming back definitely, but
Yeah, dude.
but yeah for now it's 1 hour plus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one
We're good,
hour.
man.
I think we're good.
120.
So
Good stuff.
I guess everyone already. Okay, do you want to do a shout out for anything at all?
Don't need lah.
Sure, you're too famous already. Yeah.
No lah.
All right, let's
shout
ban
out
the douchebag who throws
Benjamin
water
Kheng,
at waiters and like shoves girls off stairs.
Yeah, that's right. Hit me up and slide into my DMs, y'all.
All right, but thanks so much, man.
Thanks so much.
What a way to end the podcast.
Yeah, slide into my DMs.
Cool, man.
Cool.
Oh, dude.
That was good fun,
Thanks
guys.
so much, man.